Hey there, it's Mackenzie, your host of Winning. We're looking for sponsors for the podcast. If you have a business that you would like to promote to thousands of people, send us an email at podcastwinning@gmail.com or send us a message on social media. I cannot wait to hear from you. Now on to the show.
Winning is your guide to making it in business. Join our award-winning host and entrepreneur, Mackenzie Kilshaw, and special guests in casual conversations that will educate and inspire you on your business journey. Winning will help you learn the hard lessons the easy way with guidance from celebrated entrepreneurs and business leaders. It's fun. It's informative. It's winning.
Hey everybody, it's Mackenzie Kilshaw, the host of Winning. And today, in part 2 of Business Plans, I am going to jump into sales and marketing. If you have not yet listened to the Business Plan Part 1 episode, I strongly encourage you to go back and listen to that episode too. It's full of information that you'll need and want to know. This is the second of a few little bonus episodes that I have for you, where I give you the real business stuff, knowledge from someone, that's me, that has lived and breathed the entrepreneur life and small business. If financials and human resources are, or maybe they aren't, your jam, stay tuned for more episodes with those as the focus. You can follow us on Facebook, Instagram, and Twitter for more info on these topics and to know when the next episodes are released. If you're a new entrepreneur, have just bought a business, or are an existing business that is looking to increase your sales or do more marketing, then this is the episode for you. Sales and marketing are a huge part of each and every business. Everyone sells and everyone needs to market their business. Even nonprofit organizations sell their business, so why wouldn't you? If you don't have a strategy, you will be lost, and I can assure you on that point, you will be lost. Keep in mind, this is business plan focused. There will be more episodes on sales and marketing strategies, specifically in the future, including social media and whatnot. So stay tuned for those. And again, with my business, my first business was a clothing store. So I will use that in a lot of my examples. So we're going to get right into it here. The first thing that you need to focus on in your business plan regarding sales and marketing are your products and services. So what will you sell or do? You can literally give as many examples as this as you can, and the list can't be too long. But remember on that list that you want to keep things relevant to your business. Many businesses will have a combo of products and services, so be sure that you include both of those in that list. So the product is a tangible thing. That is what the customer or the client gets. So for an example, a t-shirt. And then of course, a service is the experience or the work that they will receive in exchange for money. So for my clothing store, a private shopping experience was the service. Be sure to include unique features and future expansion here as well. So new products or services that you could branch out into. So that gives you the ability to look forward. If you're looking for money or finances, it gives your investor or a bank or whoever you're showing this business plan to the knowledge that you are looking forward to the future as well. So include your website and social media here. And yes, you need a website and social media accounts. You cannot have a successful endeavor without these. In today's day and age, if people can't find you on the internet, you are missing out on so many opportunities. And honestly, I don't know that you would succeed. You need to be able for people to find you. So moving on from products and services, the next section that you'll focus on is the market. So you will do a market analysis here, which would include an industry analysis. So what does the industry focus on? You can include who else is in your space or doing what you do similar. So that would be your competition. So for me, my industry was retail sales. So what is your industry? You can have market growth and trends in here. which is really important to let history prepare you. So do your research. What's happened in the past? How fast is the market growing? And you can find this information online. Your local chamber of commerce will likely have this information. If you are an online business, literally Google it. It's going to tell you what were retail sales online in 2022, 2021. The internet will have that information for you. And be sure it's a reputable source, obviously. You don't want to just take the first thing that you read. Believe it or not everything is true on the internet. You're going to have to do a market analysis. So include your market segmentation and your target market. So really, who is your ideal customer or client? And are there others that will come to you? And who are they? So for example, for me, my main target market was women looking for clothing. And then my kind of segmented target market was possibly a husband or their boyfriend looking for a gift for them. Market needs. So what is the market looking for? And how do you fit into this? What do they want or need? And how are you filling the void? Customer and client needs, expectations, and patterns. Research this. It's the only way that you're going to know. And if you know your clients, you can tailor products and services to them that will stand out. I started by asking friends and family what they wanted or needed. You can do a survey. You can literally go on your Facebook page, your LinkedIn page, and do a survey. What are you looking for in this industry? What do you think is missing? What can't you find? Get the data so that you have facts. And I tell you, my friends, data is king. If you have data and real life facts, that is going to get you so much farther. It's not what you think it is, it's what it actually is. So do that research. Don't forget your demographics. So who are your customers? Their age, occupation, income, geography, where are they located? Where do they live? It could be in a smaller town. It could be in a city. It could be a country. It could be international. You need to do a competitor analysis. So who are your competitors? What do they do well? What do they not do well? Where will you fit in with them? What will you do the same or different? What is your competitive edge and your strengths? And something that I did here was I went to other stores. So I went to other stores and was a shopper. And I just noticed things that I was like, wow, that was a really nice touch. Or, wow, no one said hello to me when I walked through the door. So I found out things that they did well or maybe had some weaknesses in. And then I used those to my advantage, which was obviously my competitive edge. I was going to be the best at customer service, and I was going to bring in items that no one else was carrying. Those were my strengths. What are your opportunities? So what do you do or what will you do better than them? I heard a really interesting point the other day that you don't necessarily need to be unique, but you need to be the best at what you do. And if you advertise that you're the best, you better live up to that, because you will lose customers fast. If you say you're the best at customer service and someone walks in your business and no one greets them or says hello, that reputation is gone. So be sure you live it. You also want to include any barriers to entry. So what are things that you'll need to overcome? How are you dealing with them? And when you identify that problem, be sure as well that you include the solution to that problem, right? So a barrier to entry could be that you need to import items from another country, from the US, from the UK, let's say, for clothing. And what's the solution to that problem? So you'll import it. You'll pay duties and taxes. The price of the item might go up, but now it's available. So now we're going to move into marketing and sales. And obviously sales, you need to sell to survive. And most of the time, I honestly believe 100% of the time, it includes selling yourself. So you are the best person to sell yourself. And it's not bragging or being boastful. Don't be egotistical about it, but it's okay to highlight your strengths and let people know that you're here and that you have something amazing and you want to share it with them. And that's your business. So I really told people a lot about my sales background. I had a lot of sales before I went into business, and let them know that I was really focused on customer service, and that when they came to me, they were going to have this amazing experience. So I wasn't boasting about it, but I was letting them know that this is what you can expect. So marketing is how you let people know about your business, and you need to have a marketing strategy. So what are you going to focus on? Is that being unique? Is it doing something the best? Include your strengths here, so things that you're really good at. Innovation, so maybe you've created something new, you have a new product or a new business that didn't really exist before, or you've made it better. Solving a problem. Is there something in an industry that was an issue for most people and you've solved it? Or is it something new, something brand new product or service? So talking about advertising, there's so many ways to advertise, and a lot of what you pick for your marketing strategy will depend on your target market. So remember that target market is who is going to be your clients, and you'll likely have a main demographic or a main target, and then a few others. And your main target might actually be a few different people within that main group. Remember that, for example, when we're talking about marketing strategy, an older demographic is going to be more attracted to a newspaper ad. A younger demographic is going to watch a TikTok video. So be sure that you know who your demographic is and who your target market is, and how are you going to reach them? What's your media that you're going to get to them? Because if you have a product for a younger group of people, you better be making TikTok videos. You can market your product and service in many ways. And I'm going to go through a list here. And honestly, it's long, and some of it's going to work for some industries and some businesses, and others aren't. So I'm not saying that you have to be on every single one of these, but these are just some options for you. So traditional, we all know these: TV, radio, newspaper, magazines. So works fantastically for many businesses. I would say these are probably your most expensive advertising that you'll find, because I have kind of done all of these with different businesses. And I mean, a TV and a radio campaign in itself can be thousands of dollars. So just so you're aware of that. Obviously, today's day and age, social media. So Facebook, Instagram, TikTok. Other online areas include Google Ads, Yelp, LinkedIn, YouTube videos. You can do an ad within a website. So you can pay to be on another website with an ad. An email list. Send an email to your group of people, right? Networking and community events. When you first start, this is your best friend. You need to get out into your community, and that might be virtually if you have an online product, but you need to get to these events, these community events, and get your face and your name out there. Your local chamber of commerce or other business groups. There are lots of business groups. Google them in your area. There's breakfast. There's people that meet once a week for breakfast, and they just network and they just get to know each other that way. Blogs, obviously, having a blog, especially for things that you need to promote education in. Blogging is a great way to do that. So I have a list that I call the ultimate for marketing. And these are things that you should do to ensure that your business is seen. So you don't need to do all of these on day one, right? You don't need to start out with every single one of these done. Some can be on your wish list, and some you can add as you go on. You can also pay a professional to create for you. So obviously there are marketing and advertising agencies. There are people that just build websites and social media accounts. You can pay someone to run your social media. If you don't know what you're doing, or how to do it, or how to create a post or a reel or anything like that, pay someone to do it, right? So I just touched on this before, but the first thing that I always talk about is network, 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 and network some more, because that is going to get your name out there and your face out there, recognition. People then know who you are. They know you have a business. They know what the business is about. And they are more likely to come and visit you or to talk about you, right? In a good way. Talk about you in a good way. Word of mouth. But that's what you really need. You need people to get the buzz going. Make a website. You need a website. I said this earlier. If you don't have a website today, you need to make a website. If you do not know how to make a website, there are sites online that can do a website. If you don't know how to do it, pay someone that can. And once again, you don't need to have the world's best website on day one, but you need a website. You need to have a location. You need to have ways for people to contact you. You need to have information on there about who you are and what you do and why you do it the best, or why it's unique, or why it's new, whatever you're focusing on. But you have to have people to be able to find you. And no one goes to the phone book anymore. So you better not be relying on that. You need to also make a Google business profile and verify it. So claim it as your own. You can have your hours on there, your location, reviews. We'll talk about that a little bit too, but you need to have it and verify it and update it. Make sure you're updating that. If you change your hours, you need to update that, because otherwise people are going to get ticked off if they come to your business on Sunday and Google says you're open and you're closed. A huge thank you to our sponsor, Just For You Day Spa and Wellness. Just For You is Canada's premier day spa with 5 locations in Alberta and Saskatchewan. The award-winning luxury spa features Leah Reese cosmetics and iconic Betty jewelry that you can also purchase online. Visit www.justforyoudayspa.com to book your service or to purchase a gift card. Once again, you need to create social media accounts. For sure, Facebook, Instagram, Twitter. The glory now is if you post something on internet, it can go directly to Facebook and Twitter. You don't need to recreate. And some people want to. They want different content because Instagram is a little younger demographic than Facebook. But you can post the same thing on all 3, literally with a button through Instagram. So that's an option for you. You can advertise on social media. You can boost posts, or you can create an advertising campaign. Both are going to work for different things. And if you're not sure, you can read a lot on the internet about that, or once again, pay someone. I feel like this is an area that there are people that make really good ads and they know how to target and they're really good at it. So it might be a good way for you to get some ads out there or boost a post by doing it with someone that knows more than you. Do giveaways on social media. So give away honestly, a Starbucks gift card, something that everybody universal will like, and they'll want to win that, right? So get them to like it and share it and tag a friend, repost on their page. There's so many ways to do giveaways, but you can grow your audience that way. And it's just a great way to get your name out there and flowing. Now, remember with giveaways, people will follow you just for the giveaway and not engage. So just so you're aware of that, it does happen. But it is a way to grow your social media. So implement SEO online. So search engine optimization. You have to be seen. You have to be found. Nobody goes to page 5 of Google. If you're on page 5, you better figure out a way to get to page 1. And that might have to be to do a paid ad on there, which is fine, but no one's finding you on page 5. Google ads as well as SEO. If you don't know what you're doing, pay someone to help you out with that. And honestly, there's so many people that are good at this. And I find that for myself, this is not a strength. I have had people do it for me in the past, and it's been very well received. Make listings in business directories. So that could be both local or online. I talked about before blogging. Create a blog. Write about something, especially if you have an educational product or service, or you need to educate people on that. Write a blog. For example, me at the clothing store, I didn't necessarily have a blog, but I did a kind of like a newsletter post. And I would say like how to wear boyfriend jeans, how to wear crop tops, and educate people so that they're more inclined to buy your product or service. So get online customer reviews on Facebook and Google. And this is important because you can tell everybody how great you are, but it's much better received if a client says how great you are and why they like going to you. And make sure that you respond to these in a timely fashion. I'm not going to lie. The other day, I do lots of Google reviews because I appreciate them on my business. The other day I got a response and it was a restaurant that I had gone to like 3 years ago, and they just responded. Like, that's not timely. You want to be within a couple of days, and thank them for the review. If it's a bad review, which could happen, offer a suggestion or offer, I'd love to chat with you more about this, and try to make it right, because that person's leaving a bad review. They're upset and you want to make them happy, because what happens when people are upset? They go and tell all their friends and family about it. But what happens when people are happy? They also go and tell all their friends and family about it. So make sure that you end up being on that happy end. Create a LinkedIn account. So especially business focused. LinkedIn is, I find, more business focused. So if you're offering a professional service, definitely you need LinkedIn. You can make a YouTube, Pinterest, and TikTok page. Be sure you post on them. Do not make these pages and let them sit there, because that's useless. If you're going to make a page, if you're making a TikTok page, you better be making TikToks and posting on there. Be active on social media. It is called social for a reason. So don't just post a post and leave. If people comment on there, like their comment, reply to their comment, say thank you, answer the question, whatever it happens to be. And go on to other people's posts and like on their posts and comment on their stuff, because when you're engaged in social media, you're going to get more engagement. And that's what you want, is the engagement. You can collaborate with influencers. So get an influencer to use your product or come to your business for your service and get them to talk about it. You might have to pay them money, or sometimes you can pay them with your product or with your service. So for example, if I have an influencer come on, I can ask them if they would like to get paid with clothing. I'll gift them an item and they do a try on. Obviously, there's going to have to be some sort of compensation. You'll have to work that out with them. But giving them an item of yours, especially if you're product based, they could very well use that item again or talk about it again. So you get that benefit as well. Your local area, get into your local newspaper, on the radio, on TV shows. The morning shows, CTV, CBC, NBC, whether you're in the US, Canada, wherever, there's TV programs everywhere. They're always looking for content. Pick up the phone and say, I've got a new business. This is the problem I'm solving. This is the product I've created. I want to tell people about it. And you will likely get on there. I was in the newspaper, on the radio, and on our local morning shows all the time, because I was proactive about it. And I'm like, I'll come and do a spring fashion segment for you. And they were like, great, because they didn't have to search for somebody. So be proactive on those for sure. Become partners with other businesses that have similar target markets. So especially complementary businesses, right? So my clothing store was right beside a hair salon. We did lots of stuff together, because the women that want to get their hair done and look nice also want to wear nice clothes. So we partnered, we did shopping nights, and we did tips on hair and all these things to try to get the similar customers to be clients of both of ours. You can do a special event with them. So like I just said, we did shopping parties, and we said, hey, do a shopping party. We'll teach you how to do a wave curl in your hair. The hair salon will teach you that. And it got people to come because they were going to learn something. And then we both got new clients from it. For sure, when you start out, get family and friends to promote your business. And I'll tell you right now, your family and friends are going to be your first customers, but they're not going to be who you rely on in year 2 or 3 or 4. You need to build your clientele, but those will be the first person or people that come and support you. And they're going to be proud to promote your business. So just ask them. They might not even think about it. Ask them, share your link, ask them to share on Facebook or Instagram or whatever it is. And I guarantee you, they'll help you out. Send marketing emails. This is a little trickier when you first start out, because you're not going to have that email list. But once you get your business going, collect emails, ask that it's okay to be on your list, especially in Canada, there are privacy laws. So make sure that that's okay. And send marketing emails that are relevant. Do not send emails to send emails, because people are going to delete those or unsubscribe. Send an email with an education tip, a new product, an event, a reason for them to want to read it. Maybe there's a special promotion in there, a discount. But don't just send emails to send emails. Attend trade shows. So go as a watcher or a viewer, but also go with a booth. Now, trade shows work really well for some businesses and not for others. So I would say service-wise, trade shows aren't really as good. But if you've got a product to sell or something for people to take home that day, those work really good. Advertising in local newspapers and magazines, again, depending on your business, these work really well for some and not so great for others. And I would say newspaper, especially older demographics. So if that's your jam, that's going to be a good place for you to go. You can send direct mail with promotions. So you can have a piece, you can create it yourself or have a piece of literature created and through your local postal service, send it to a certain area that you want to. Or get door hangers and literally go yourself and walk around a neighborhood and put a door hanger. This works really well. Really for restaurants, it works great. Or for seasonal things like lawn care. You come home, there's a lawn care, early spring door hanger. It's like, oh yeah, why am I cutting my grass? I should get somebody else to do it. You probably wouldn't have sought that out, but that door hanger worked really well. You can host or attend or sponsor local events. So get your name out there again. This is part of networking, but local events are a great way to be seen and be heard. Charity events, donate to a charity and go to the event. So donate both your time and your money or an item maybe for a raffle or a draw, something like that. But get out there, talk to people, let people know that you exist and that you're supporting that cause too. Because we know that community involvement and charity involvement is so important and special and really will help your business, but also help your heart. So make sure that you are doing those things. Collaboration with other businesses that have the same or similar market. So when I was talking about partnering, you can collab. Maybe you collab on a giveaway or you collab on an event, but do something together to bring more people to get to know you. Join your local chamber of commerce. Apply for awards and recognition, or if you don't want to apply, have people nominate you. I've won lots of awards and it was always from nominations from clients or other people that came to the business. But those awards are I'm really good at customer service and I won this award for it. They're the proof that you're really good at customer service or that you're really good at community involvement or whatever it happens to be. And I can tell you, you'll get more exposure from the awards and the recognition that you will from a paid ad, because a paid ad, you're paying to be somewhere. An award or some sort of recognition is someone else saying that you're good. So they're validating you. You can use billboards or outdoor signage. And obviously don't forget about the word of the power. Whoa, couldn't even talk there. The power of word of mouth. So word of mouth is going to be your best friend. First of all, it is free and I like free stuff and I don't know who doesn't. If someone has a good experience, they are going to tell others about it. And if they have a bad experience, they're going to tell others about it. So remember that. Provide great service. You're going to get that great word of mouth. So obviously, like I said, I know some of these are better suited for some businesses over others. Some of these are not going to work for you. And trial and error, I tried the whole list, you guys. I literally did everything on this list because I wanted to see what worked. And there were things that I tried and I paid for that I don't think brought me a single customer. I never did them again. So try it. If you fail, move along. You won't know if you don't try. If it's obvious for you, if your demographic is teenagers and early 20-year-olds, do not put a newspaper ad out there. Go and do a TikTok video, right? But try it out because you never know what could work on the things that you're wondering about. And of course, be authentic to your business. If it doesn't make sense to be on TikTok, do not do it because you are just going to stick out like a sore thumb and people are going to wonder why you did that. It looks like you're trying too hard, which is also a problem. You have to be authentic to yourself and to your mission and your values and never stray from them. I had people make print ads for me and brought them to me and I was like, sorry, no, because they were not at all what I represented. And I wanted people to come to my store and feel really welcomed and feel appreciated and feel good about themselves. And sometimes you see something that you're like, that's not what I stand for. Don't move on with it. You get final approval for everything you do. So say no. Say that's not what I want. I would say have that meeting beforehand and tell them your mission and your values and what's important to you. But if they don't create something for you, if somebody else is doing it and it's not what you want or need or stand for, don't approve it. It's okay. You don't have to feel bad about it because you need it to be authentic. Okay, so we're moving on to the marketing segmentation strategy. So this is segmenting your market out and creating separate marketing plans for each segment. So remember that some marketing works better for some segments than others. You can segment by geography. So where are your customers? Do they live and work in the area that you are, that your business is? If so, you can market that group, including, for example, billboards, outdoor signage for people that will drive by, see the billboard and be like, oh yeah, I got to stop in there. Could include the mail drop we talked about, or the door hangers announcing that you're here and offering a promotion. There's also product and user segmentation. So it segments customers based on things that they enjoy, use, or purchase that obviously that your business offers. So you can customize email marketing to them if there's something new or if there's a sale based on their past purchasing behaviors. So you should be using a POS system or something to keep records of your customers. Very, very important. Then you know what they bought in the past or what they've done in the past. If you have a new offering or a new item, then you know who to send it to. That is super important. There's lifestyle segmentation. So that segments customers based on their lifestyle, including their media outlets and social events. So that's maybe what radio station they listen to or what social media platforms they're on and what event they're going to. If you know your whole group is going to be at an event, sponsor that event or offer them something for their swag bag or try to get on stage and speak. I mean, there's so many things that you can do just to get your name out there. What is your targeting strategy? So are you going to do a mass marketing campaign or a niche campaign? So a mass campaign is to everybody in your target market, and a niche campaign is to just one segment of that market. So for example, you might want to promote a sale, and that's to everyone. So that would be a mass campaign. A Valentine's special to husbands or boyfriends of female clients would be a niche campaign. So that gives you an example there. What's your positioning strategy? So what is your position in the market? Are you the high-end store? Are you the affordable store? Are you the unique store or business, I should say, not necessarily store, but where do you sit among your competitors? How are you different from them? You can use ads to separate yourself apart from your competition. So obviously, this is an example, but ads for Walmart and Nordstrom's are very different, right? I mean, an ad for Walmart, most of the time, what do you see? Lowest price. On sale for 49 cents. You don't see that for Nordstrom's. A Nordstrom's sale, because they're a higher end store, a Nordstrom's ad is going to focus on the experience that you get. Come to Nordstrom's, relax shopping, personal shopping, someone to help you. They're not talking about their 49-cent special because that's not what they are, right? That's not their values. So they're going to be really different. Be sure to highlight your corporate message and image and your mission. What's important, right? Your values. So what are you about? What do you stand for? What's important to you? So that could be low price. It could be customer service, experience, uniqueness, whatever it is, that's what you want to focus on in your marketing. So your product and service strategy is next. And again, what is your product or service? So what do you do or what do you sell? What is your competitive edge? And how are you going to keep that? And can you evolve, pivot, or change if you need? Remember a little thing called COVID? So how are you going to survive the unknowns? I mean, no one in a million years thought COVID was going to happen and hit the world like it did and have things shut down. But you better have some sort of plan for something that might happen that you are then prepared for, right? Because there's nothing worse than being unprepared. What's your pricing strategy? So where do you sit in the pricing world? Are you similar to competitors? Are you higher or lower? Okay, something really important. What is your markup? So pricing strategy. I mean, I can't stress this enough. Be sure that your markup is at least double what it costs you to make, buy, or provide the service. You do not only need to pay for that item, you need to pay for rent and its staff and monthly expenses like internet, insurance, your power bill, whatever it is. Guess what? You need to make a profit too. So all of this work, I mean, you need a profit. If you're not making a profit, you're not going to survive. If you can just pay your bills, you're never going to grow. So you need to be rewarded with that profit. I can't stress this enough. Markup. I always advise around 2.5% the markup of something. So, okay, I'm going to just make it simple here. If something costs you $1, you sell it for $2.50. So 1 times 2.5. So that then gives you $1.50 to cover your costs and turn a profit. Remember, you need room for sales and promotions. If it's not built into that price, as soon as you offer something on sale, you're losing money. And you're going to have sales at some point in time, whatever it happens to be. I mean, clothing store, you have sale at the end of season. You get down to one left, you put it on sale. Some people have sales all the time. Some people have sales once a year, but you still need to turn a profit. And if 2.5 times is not giving you enough to pay your bills and make a profit, then you have to increase that. Or you've got to decrease the cost of the item. I mean, there's only 2 ways to do that, right? But you need to cover your cost and make a profit. If this is not built into your pricing strategy of your product or service, you need to revisit this because you're going to have a big problem. And it's not going to be pleasant. I'll tell you that right now. Okay, next up, your distribution channels. So if you're creating a product, where are you going to sell it? So are you going to have your own store? Are you going to sell it at other stores? How is it going to get to the other store? So if I'm creating a product and I want it to be sold in Walmart, how is it getting there? Who's going to pay for the shipping? So really it's customary for the purchaser to pay for the shipping. So if you are selling a product or service, a product to me and shipping it to me, then I pay for the shipping, right? The customer pays for the shipping. You might have to negotiate that because there are some places that want your product and maybe you can negotiate for them to pay for the shipping. That's just a little tip for you. So your promotion and advertising strategy. So if you're just starting out in your business and you're not open yet, you should be advertising before you open. Create a hype and a buzz that you are coming. Launch your website and your social media accounts and do a build up before to create excitement. So things like coming soon posts that tell future clients and customers what you're about and what offerings you'll have are a great way to create momentum. You can have your family and friends like, comment, share, and build the following before you open. So my first business, I started to promote it 6 months before it opened. So people had a name recognition before we opened. And then once we opened, they were excited to come. So I had a physical storefront clothing store and I did my logo in the window and then coming soon. And then I had my website, my social media accounts, and I started announcing brands I was going to be carrying and things that we were going to be doing. So people were pumped and we weren't even open yet. Well, I had a following. So the day I opened my doors, people were shopping at my store. The marketing vehicles are next on your plan. And remember that long list of ways to market that I gave you a little while ago? So chances are you're not going to be able to do all of them right away or at all maybe. So what's most effective? Choose the options that will hit the majority of your target market the fastest. So remember that networking and word of mouth that are free are a great way to get your name out there. You next need to include your promotional budget. So how much are you spending on advertising? Will you use a percentage of sales or a set amount? Will you follow your competition and do similar to what they do? That's a little risky business though, because they've been in business before if you're just starting, right? So remember that. Will you build budget by task? So a sale maybe, or objective. So that might be to acquire more customers. If you're bringing in something new, you may want to advertise on that item specifically, especially seasonal things, right? If you're offering Christmas things, you're going to want to start in November telling people about them. So my first year of business, I used 1% of my sales, and that seemed like such a low number, but it was actually about $65,000, which seemed like a lot. So 1% seemed low. 65,000 seemed like a lot of money. But remember that some advertising is thousands of dollars for one thing alone. So if you're going to be advertising on TV, you need a lot bigger budget than if you're going to be doing, for example, paid Facebook ads. Okay, let's talk about your sales strategy. So what is it? How are you going to get sales? Remember that if you don't sell your product or service, you're not going to succeed. You are not. If you have a great idea or a great product, service, whatever it is, you open your doors and you don't sell a thing, goodbye, right? You're not going to exist. Sales experience and training are crucial. And you can train people to sell anything. A good salesperson can sell any product or service. There's no difference if they're selling a house or a car or a t-shirt or dance lessons. And you may think this sounds crazy, but I can tell you right now that it is true. I've created sales training for this purpose, and I've trained hundreds of people on it. I did sales training years ago, and I took what I learned there and literally 20 years ago, and I've been using that and built on that all throughout my business career. So sales is about features and benefits. Plain and simple. It's all about the features of your product or your service and the benefits the customer will receive. I'm going to tell you again, it doesn't matter if you're selling a house, a car, a t-shirt, or dance lessons. It's all the same. So you need to find out what your customer or your client needs and then sell them on the feature of the item that you have or your service and how it will benefit them. So I'm going to give you an example. If you're selling a house and you're talking to the buyer and what's your must-haves, and they say they are chronically hot. So that's their problem. They're hot. Then you're going to tell them about houses only with air conditioning. That's the feature that will keep them cool. That's the benefit, right? They're not going to be hot in this house because it's got air conditioning and it's a selling feature, right? So find out what their pain point is and solve their problem with the features of your product or service. Okay, what about your sales and staff team? Staff and sales team. Wow. Good thing we don't edit these. How will you find good salespeople? Are you going to recruit them from other businesses? Are you going to use a recruiter to find them? So you're going to pay somebody to find them? You're going to put an ad online? Are you going to use word of mouth? Honestly, I had most of my first staff I didn't know them, but friends told me about them and said they would be great for you. That's how I found them. The people you hire can make or break your business. Your team is so important. They must value the same things as you and believe in your mission. So they have to believe in it and you too. And if you don't live your mission statement, they are not going to. So if you say, we're going to be giving this experience to every person that walks through the door, somebody comes in and you're crusty with them, they're not going to do it either, right? How are you going to compensate your team? Are you going to just pay them a salary? Are they going to get commission or bonuses? What's going to motivate them? Is it money, day off, prizes? Maybe it's a gift card or win a lunch. You got to find that out. If you don't know what motivates them, you can't reward them. They're not going to be motivated to sell for you. And guess how you find that out? You ask them. When you get a new staff member, what motivates you? How do you like to be rewarded? How do you like to get feedback? We're going to do HR components at a different time, but find out what motivates them. If it's a day off, then use that as a motivator. If they don't care about a bonus, don't motivate them with money because they don't care about that. Remember that almost every single business sells something on top of a service. So for example, I go to my hairstylist, I'm paying for the haircut, that's the service, but often I'll also buy a shampoo to go home with. So now just a haircut, which is a service, has become a shampoo as well, and that's the product. Even your reception and front sales staff are salespeople. So they might not sell a product or service, but they're selling your business and your name and your experience and your reputation. Ensure that they are also well trained to do all of these things. Okay, like have you ever had a bad interaction with a front staff person and never gone back to that business? Because I have, and I know I'm not alone. The team member that answers your phone can turn people on or off in literally a second, and how they speak to the person on the other end of the phone. So if they're super friendly and knowledgeable, that person's having a good experience. If they're like, no, this isn't available, I can tell you that person's not going to come to your business. And once someone's had a bad thought about your business, it is very hard to change their mind. Very, very hard. A lot of people, they're never coming back. So make sure that your front staff, the people that greet or answer your phone, are also trained. So in your business plan, you also need to create a sales forecast. So you want to create or have a pro, like an accountant, do it for you. I didn't do mine. I had an accountant do it. I wanted it to be right, and I wanted to make sure I covered everything. So I paid someone to do my first one. But you want to create your worst, your expected, and your best case sales forecast. So showing expenses, sales, and profit. And if you're thinking, how in the heck am I going to know what I'll sell when I haven't even done it yet? You want to start with your break-even point. So how much do you need to make in a day, week, month, whatever it is, to cover your expenses? And then multiply that by the number of days, weeks, months in a year. So if you're just going to break even, that's going to be your worst case, as it will give you no profit. And starting there, then you can build your expected. So maybe you do a 3% increase for your expected, and then a 10% increase for your best. Be conservative. So it's better to be low on your sales forecast than high and miss your mark right out of the gate. You don't want to say I'm going to sell $1 million worth of stuff and you sell 30,000, right? It's not going to work out. Okay, I'm wrapping it up now. This is your sales and marketing section of the business plan of our little bonus episodes here. Are you feeling better about building your business plan? Or is your head filled with even more questions? Send me your questions through social media and I'll answer them. Pop me a DM through Instagram, Facebook, send me a Twitter, whatever it is. I'm going to answer your question because I want you to succeed. This is why I have a podcast. I want to help you guys. So I'm going to be producing more bonus episodes in the next sections of the business plan, including finances, human resources, all that stuff. Whether you love those or hate those, tune in, because I'm going to give you my real life experience like I have today and really help you out. Thank you guys so much for tuning in, and I'll see you on the next episode. Thanks for listening to Winning. Be sure to subscribe to get all of our new episodes. If you enjoyed this episode and you'd like to help support the podcast, please share it with others. Post about it on social media and leave a rating and review wherever you listen to Winning. To catch all of the latest from us, you can follow Winning Podcast on Instagram at winning_podcast, Facebook at Winning Podcast, and on Twitter at Winning Pod. Winning was created and is produced by me, Mackenzie Kilshaw. Music created by Summer Furby. Editing by Seth Armstrong. Special thanks to Shauna Foster for voicing our opening. Thanks again for listening, and I'll see you on the next episode.